Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel. Guys, how are we all doing? I'm super excited to have you here, guys. So in today's video, we are going to talk about what is happening from August 27th, 2023. Oh my god, guys, I know we are all curious to know, because from time immemorial we can work for our main sponsors as many hours as we can. But when it comes to a second employer, we can only work 20 hours per week for a second employer. So in today's video, we are going to highlight a lot of factors people have asked me. A lot of people have asked me what's going to happen from August 27, 2023. We're going to be answering that in today's video. Secondly, a lot of people have asked me, Nurse Violet, how many overtime can one do if you're on a visa sponsorship or you're on a Tier 2 visa? We're also going to answer that in today's video. Number 3, if I happen to be on annual leave, how many hours can I work in a week for a second employer? We are also going to answer that in today's video. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Nurse Violet, when does the week actually begin and when does it end? Because if I happen to be doing 20 hours for a second employer, I would love to know when the week actually begins according to my health rota. Now, a lot of people have also expressed concerns like, I work in an NHS, and in the NHS where I work, they own the NHSP. Is that a second employer? So guys, we are going to be talking about that in today's video. I'm also going to be showing you from the UK government website, and I'll be dropping the link in the description box, okay? So that you can also read for yourself. So if this sounds interesting to you, please like the video, please share this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe. So without wasting any of your time, guys, let's dive directly into the topic.
Ryan Little.
All right, guys, so welcome back to my channel. Guys, we all know that around February 2023, this year to be precise, the UK did something amazing, something wonderful for every one of us who happen to fall into the health sector. And what did they do? They said if you happen to fall into the health sector, you can work unlimited for a second employer without having to update your visa. So from February, every one of us have been working unlimited for a second employer without having to update our visa. And they did say that they were going to review this in the next 6 months. And the next 6 months for their review happens to be August 27th, 2023. So precisely, I beg every one of us, from August 27, 2023, you can no longer work more than 20 extra hours for a second employer. Now, I'm going to be reading from the UK government website. I'll be sharing it on your screen so that you can read for yourself, okay? So please, guys, if you are in doubt, just read it by yourself. So what do they say from August 27th, 2023? It reads, it says, working after 27th August 2023. From 27th August 2023, you will only be able to do up to 20 hours of additional paid work without updating your visa. The job will need to be either in the same occupation code and at the same level as your main job, and in a shortage occupation. Now, what this simply means is you can work 20 hours for a second employer. If you are working for a second employer, you must work in the capacity as what you have been sponsored to do. So if you have been sponsored to work as a nurse, you can only work as a nurse for a second employer, and you can only work 20 hours. Now, this is still on the UK government website. So until they update it, you have no choice than to work 20 extra hours per week for a second employer. Now, number 2, How many overtime can I do? Like I said when I started the video, you can work as many hours as you can with your main sponsors. Now again, I'll be sharing this on the screen so that every one of us can see for ourselves. Now, work you can do without updating your visa. If you work overtime in the job you are being sponsored for, you do not need to update your visa. Now, so if your main employer, your main sponsors allows you to do overtime, then that's absolutely fine. You don't need to what? You don't need to update your visa. And overtime is not what? Is not with a second employer, because of course you can't do overtime with a second employer. You can only do overtime with your main sponsor that issue you COS. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Nurse Violet, if I'm on annual leave, it means that that week I'm not working. So can I work more than 20 hours for a second employer when I'm on annual leave? Guys, the answer is no. If you like, be on annual leave, you can still only work 20 extra hours for a second employer. Remember, annual leave is paid for. It is paid for. So even if you're on annual leave, they are paying you for annual leave. So you can only work 20 extra hours for a second employer if you happen to be on annual leave. Now, a lot of people have also asked me, Nurse Violet, I'm working for an NHS. That NHS happens to have NHSP. Is it a second employer? Guys, NHSP is a second employer. Bank is a second employer. Agency is a second employer. Okay, so let's not get it mixed up. All right. Now, a lot of people have also asked me, like, Nurse Violet, when does the week begins and when does it end? Now, in my own health rota, I will not share it in the screen, but look at your rota. In my own health rota, which is similar for every one of us, whether you work in the care home, whether you work in the NHS, whether you work in the private sector, in my own rota, the week begins on Monday and it ends on Sunday. So meaning that, follow in my own rota, if I'm working from Monday to Sunday, I can do 20 hours for a second employer. So the week, according to my own rota, which will be similar for every one of us, begins on Monday and it ends what? And it ends on Sunday. All right, so guys, that is the situation at hand. Okay, so that's the situation at hand currently, and I would advise and I would strictly encourage every one of us not to exceed 20 hours per week for a second employer. The reason is because if you work more than 20 hours per week for a second employer, it could have a lot of adverse effects on you. Yes, it could make you, or it could affect your indefinite leave to remain. And of course, if it affects your indefinite leave to remain, it means that's the end for you. Okay, except of course you don't intend to remain in the UK permanently. If you don't intend to remain in the UK permanently, then of course it doesn't affect you. But for people like, especially if you are that kind of person that have told yourself that I'm not going to be migrating to any other countries for work. If I happen to migrate to other countries, I'm just going to go there for a visit. Guys, I'm going to advise every one of us to please stick to the rules. Yes, because if we default and work more than 20 hours for a second employer, is going to affect our visa. Yes, it's going to affect our visa. A lot of second employer, they don't even mind. But at the end of the day, it is you who is going to affect. Please do not violate your visa restriction. Follow the rules, and by the grace of God, we'll all be fine. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please give this video a like, give this video a share, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Until I see you again, all the best.